Alfie Stirling is Head of Economics at the New Economics Foundation. Welcome to the programme this morning, Alfie. Your view of what damage this could do to the economy? Plenty of people saying that if this measure were put in, there would be no country left.
Yeah, I actually think that's grossly exaggerated. I think the really key fundamental point to bear in mind of these things is if a public health measure is effective, open question there, as you just heard from different guests, but if it's effective, then the trade-off with the economy can only really take place in the short term. In the medium term or longer term, the most important thing for the economy is exactly the same as it is for society, which is to not have high prevalence of a deadly virus circulating through the population. So if you're effective with your public health measure, you're actually going to see the economy recover much, much quicker over the arc of time.
I wonder whether the Eat Out to Help Out scheme, which starts today, might help with that.
Well, no, I think actually that's an example of the reverse. So that's an example of, it's far more economically costly to either do something too slowly, to go into lockdown too slowly, like we saw back in March, or to unwind too quickly. And I think that opening up indoor hospitality, pubs, restaurants, and then, commensurate economic schemes to try and even encourage people to go into those spaces even more rapidly will have the reverse. It'll have a short-term economic boost, perhaps, but if it then sees a higher prevalence rate of the virus and we then see, mass waves of lockdown either locally or across the country, the economic cost will be far, far higher.
But we've got to try it. So again, the maxim is there's no such thing as a good idea, only the good execution of an idea. The government have to try, and they've got to get it right. But there's time now to try and build the economy back up, no?
Well, I think there are two things. I think the first thing is you do need to get the prevalence of the virus down low enough before you start to try and take economic measures to boost demand. And we didn't do that correctly. But there is, on the economic side, when you talk about these short-term costs from public health measures, the economic policies that accompany those measures is totally vital. So, for example, if you're going to see lockdown even in local areas or across an age group of the population, you should see extensions and adaptations of the furlough scheme to make sure that there is now government support for those people during that period of time. Universal credit actually is also very important because if you're over 50, you're actually 50% more likely to be falling through the cracks in the furlough scheme, i.e. you're in work that was more likely to make you redundant. Or in other ways was missing out on self-employed income protection as well. So universal credit also incredibly important. So those accompanying policies in economics are very, very important, but it's more about providing short-term safety net to ease that short-term pain, and actually getting the public health measures right is the vital thing for the economy in the medium term.